How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to review for you Season 3, Episode 1 of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Sword Village arc, Episode 1, Someone's Dream. And before I go any further, please help further my dream by hitting that like button, subscribe, and hitting the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this one. It's been so long we haven't seen these guys since 2022. Which, I know that's like a couple of months. We haven't been in this new year that long, but still, it's been a while. I think we actually realistically haven't seen them since, I think, last year this time. They started really, really early, and yeah. Arguably one of the better and best shows of of the current Shonen Jump era. I mean, the manga is already over with, but yeah. As you see, I have a new special guest here, Nezuko. Got this for my birthday. But yes, boy, oh boy. This first episode is, well, roughly 49 minutes and 36 seconds, but 50 minutes, an hour long, not even a special, just hour long episode. I can tell where the split comes. Man, and I wrote down, I got some notes here. I might have to go back to my phone notes too, because there was a lot. And I'm trying to pay attention to a lot. And as you've noticed, I am doing my best to move away from a lot of the play-by-plays, because for some of the stuff, play-by-plays don't work, especially for these hour-long ones. So let's start this off right. Very beginning, it picks up where the red light district ended off. Literally, Tanjiro holding his miniature family. They survived. They made it through. They won the battle with one of the upper ranks of the demons of Muzan Kibutsuji, Michael Jackson, of him. And there you go. We go right into the next part, which is, and this is probably one of the better things that this show does, is the gathering of the upper rank demons. This has not happened in 113 years, although one of the demons who, boy, I wrote down names here. One of the demons thought it was 90 years, but no, it's 113. That means it's been 113 years since an upper rank demon had been killed. And of course, we are introduced. We were first met with the one that took away our Rengoku, Akaza. It's the third rank one. Now, we're going to go down in order from 1 to 5 of who these guys are. Number 1 is Kokushibo. He has 6 eyes. He is the first rank. He is the strongest. And the dude has hair like Tanjiro. He has the mark on his face that Tanjiro gets whenever he accesses that Hinokami Kagura. Ooh, it's something there. I know a little bit of what happens, but I don't know everything. And boy, oh boy, I cannot wait to find out along with the rest of you anime watchers. Number 2 is Doma. We've seen Doma. He has these rainbow colored eyes. We saw him murdering people. I think he was in a flashback of how Gyutaro and his sister became demons. Actually, he's the one that brought him into the fold. He actually apologized to Mitsuzen, saying, that's my bad. I brought him in. What do you want me to do? It's interesting, the stark contrast to how Mitsuzen treats his demons and how the leader, the boss of the Demon Slayer Demon Corps, how he treats everyone. Because he's just tired of him. He's like, I don't even know why I even have you all around. He's super abusive. Like, if you're going to use these guys for your own means, what is the point of all that? Oh, he is heartless and evil and a POS. But I'm not done. We already told you about number 3. Number 4 is Hatengo. Just old guy. Looks like a Tengu. Literally looks like a Tengu. He is the most fearful. Like, he is showing everyone who is above him respect. He's like, Sama this and Sama that. So there is one that is below him, Gyoko. This dude came out of a pot. Has baby arms. Baby arms for hair, 4 of them. His eyes are mouths, an eye here and an eye here. He's the 5th rank. He is freaky. And here's the funny part. These guys are ranked based on who is the most human looking. So number 1 looks the most human. Not all the markings on him, just has those 6 eyes that are scary as all shit. Essentially, Muzan, he knew that Gyutaro was going to lose because of his sister and the bond he had with her. But it looks like he's doing experiments. Apparently, he is on experiment 133 of something. Who knows? He's taking notes because when he appeared above them in this distorted world called the Infinity Castle that the BY player uses. And to note, when Asuka, when he jumped down into the abyss, he goes to a part where it looks like it's like a garden area and there's a home in there, but he falls and just keeps going. Is that where Muzan lays his head when he's not pretending to be a little kid or a woman or a husband and all that? Is this where the BY woman, who obviously controls this area, is she one of the upper ranks? Is she number 7? Who is she? Or is she to, Michael Jackson villain? Is she to him what the attendance of our beloved boss is in the Demon Slayer Corps? Who knows? But yeah, he's putting pressure on them because he said, I've been too lenient on you because you're upper ranks. But he wants them to find the Ubuyashiki family. Don't know who they are. I'm assuming that that's the name of the family for our Demon Slayer boss. He also wants them to find Blue Spider Lily, which I'm assuming is the name of the woman that's helping Tanjiro turn his sister back with the blood and all that. That's what I'm assuming. Apparently, Gyoko had some information for him, but we get a deeper glimpse into the character that is Muzan. He does not like changes. He doesn't like physical changes, emotional changes, environmental changes. If I can actually find where he talked about all the changes, pardon me, he against changing to leading to degradation and leading to more or less death. He has physical changes of circumstances, changes of any means being degradation, decay, and he prefers unchanging states that last forever. And the crazy part is he had taken dude with the baby hands, took his head and has his head in his hands, and that dude's getting off to it. He's like, oh, I'm in his palm, this is great. I'm like, you guys suck this man's boot a little too hard, but whatever. But now we get a glimpse into it. I think the reason he's a demon is because he fears death, which is very much a human emotion, and maybe he's trying to figure out a way how to continue his life but not have to live in the shadows and be out in the light. Maybe that's what he's doing. Who knows? Who actually knows? But their meeting is adjourned. Everyone leaves, but I find it interesting how the ranks amongst them interact because Akaza, he constantly is physically abusive to Doma. And like he backhanded Doma's jaw off, comes back, of course, backhand the top of his head off, which Doma's like, yeah, your punches got stronger, but man, these names. Kokushibo sliced his hand off. And of course, his hand came back. But he sliced his hand off. He has a sword too, y'all. And also, this dude is so powerful. Like, just him appearing beside him makes Akaza's blood boil. Like, you see his veins moving, and like he's just constantly pissed. He doesn't like to be touched by Doma. He doesn't like any of this. And Kokushibo, his thing is, he's above you. I'm above you. So subordinates need to stay in line. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's not saying it more so for Doma's benefit. He's saying it, for Asuka's benefit. And I was like, oh yeah, I get it. I'm going to kill you. He's just flat out. He wants to kill him. And Doma's like, I understand why he's hostile because, well, I became a demon after him and I got promoted before he did. So yeah, I'd be the same way. And Doma seems to be trying to make bonds with these evil bad guys. He wants to go with Gyoko to confirm the information he has, because Muzan's like, don't give me unconfirmed information. You find it out, then you give it to Hatengu, who's above him. He wants to go. No, they both got transported by BY Lady. The other two leave, and he's like, hey, Miss BY, you want to have some tea? Respectfully decline, which is funny, but this dude looks like he is doubling as either a wise man, a priest, or a sage, because he had someone come and say, hey, your disciples are here. Okay, give me a second. Puts on the hat. His happy-go-lucky attitude is probably what scares me the most about him, because we've seen him carry women's heads and people's body parts in a not a satchel, but a basket. And he even said to the guy with the vase, he's like, oh, you got a new vase. I have a woman's head in my vase. And it's just casual about murder. But we had an interesting dream sequence, which is probably where this title comes from. Tanjiro is having a dream. I think he's having a vision. The blood is making him have a vision. We see someone with hair that looks like the hair of Kokushibo. Long hair. It has a blade, but the blade is different. It looks like the handle looks like, I hate to say dragon scale, but it looks like some type of scale, right? And he's talking to somebody that looks like Tanjiro, who's holding a baby Tanjiro, and the woman that is in the bed that just gave birth looks like Nezuko. Is this his father? The person's name he's talking to is Sumiyoshi. I don't know his dad's name, but could that be him, or could that be another ancestor? You know, in the outro, which was very well done, we see long hair with the blade at the very beginning of all these demon slayers, and the blades, and his blade is last. Who knows? But Tanjiro finally wakes up. Once again, the boys are. We got Tanjiro. Tanjiro wakes up again, but it's been 2 months. 2 months since he was found. 2 months since that battle. He's the last to wake up. Zenitsu woke up the very next day. Crazy. He's already on mission. Inosuke woke up 7 days before he did. And of course his girl, Kanoa? No, not Kanoa. Yeah, Kanao. She finds him first, and she's much more talkative since the very, very beginning of seeing her, so that's great. And it turns out there's a reoccurring character that we never paid attention to. He is Goto, the Kakushi, the guys in the black uniforms. This one in particular seems to always be the one to find Tanjiro after all his battles, and he's the one that found the group. You know, he's like, oh, these guys are really close. He's like, oh no, you guys are near death. Like a bunch of you were near death and you almost passed out. But he brought some very fancy cake, knowing that Tanjiro's sense of smell is really good. So he figured, hey, I bring this, it'll wake him up. It'll be something for him to enjoy. Now, Kanao had dropped the flower vase, and he's like, I know she outranks me, and I'm older than her. He's 23, but man, she could have just cleaned this up. And he goes around, sees the Tanjiro's awake, and he yells. This is the comedy that gives levity to all this, because you know this stuff is not going to last forever. You know we're going to get some more heartbreak soon. But he's yelling at her like, this is something you tell everybody. You tell everyone. He does a breathing technique to yell, and of course the triplets. He tells the triplets. He tells Aoi. Everyone's happy that he's up. And when he asks about Inosuke, they're like, oh yeah, Inosuke, he's been up. We haven't been fine. He's resting or whatever. He's like, oh, so I'm hallucinating about him being on the ceiling. No, Inosuke's on the ceiling, being a weirdo, being a creepo. I hope I remember there's something funny about that later. So a week after Tanjiro wakes up, he's back on his feet. He's trying to stretch again. All his buddies are out on mission. He needs to get a sword. Unfortunately, what's the name? Man, these names. Haganezuka, the guy that makes his swords, that wants to murder him every time he either breaks the sword or gives it to him chipped, which is the first time he gave it to him chipped is now. He didn't make him anything. He sent letters basically cursing him. And triplets are adorable. The characters are supposed to be adorable are freaking adorable in this series. regardless of such, he's wondering, well, man, how in the world am I going to get a sword? It's been 2 months and he hasn't replied. And I think no, it wasn't Aoi. It was one of the triplets that said, why don't you go ahead and go to the village yourself? Which he's such a big brother to them, because the moment he can stand up again, he's doing the airplane thing. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Anyway, he gets permission by the leader to go to the village, which the speech that the leader gave, the master gave in the beginning of this episode, is actually the same one he did at the end of the last season, where he says, we finally killed one of the upper ranks. In our generation, we're going to be able to bring him down. So, dude is ready. But yeah, gave him permission to go. But the village of the swordsmiths is a secret. It's where all the Nichiren blades come from. Can't tell anybody, you can't know. So not only do they blindfold him and put in earplugs, they put nose plugs in Tanjiro because he is the nose. So they do it. And he gets transported from Kakushi to Kakushi, which it's funny because all the outfits are exactly the same, but you can tell based on how they draw them who's male, who's female. Won't even get into that, but interesting how they get passed off. And he's such a gracious kid. He's telling every last one of them, thank you. They have to take different routes. None of them know where the village is, right? And the crows don't know. So the crows change as well as the Kakushi, and they change routes. And apparently, it's even more intricate to try to get to where the master lives. Amazing. Tanjiro's praising them all the way. When the Kakushi's like, he's such a good boy. He is such a good boy, because he's thanking them. He's telling them be safe. And when they finally make it, he meets with the elder of the village. The first thing he has to do, whose name is Techikara. God, he's also one that named oh my goodness, what's his name? Haganezuka named him Hataru, which is a cute name, but dude doesn't like it. He's always been hot-tempered, and when he gets mad, he goes off. They have no clue where he is. He's gone. But if he's not back before Tanjiro fully heals, because Tanjiro's going to heal while he's in the village, the Swordsmith village, he's going to heal, and if he's not back, they're going to get someone else to make it. But Tanjiro said, it's my fault. I'm sorry. I keep breaking, and this time I chipped the blade. And I love how Teshkun's like, oh, no. It ain't your fault. It's his fault for making a faulty blade. It's not on the user. It's on the maker. Oh, yeah. We're going to make sure we learn him good. And one of the guards is just like, oh, yeah. Can't wait. When he comes back, we'll bring him right to you. And Tanjiro's like, you're not going to hit him. They're going to hit him. They're going to beat him. But after Tanjiro gives a thank you to the last Kakushi, we get Mitsuru Kanroji. Sorry. These names. Come on, you guys know these names are not that easy. Mitsuru. She's like, I hear words of gratitude. Her whole thing is love and expressions and emotions, and she is the most girly out of any female characters that we've met. At least at her age and her rank, she's the most girly, she's adorable, which means she is probably uberly powerful. Actually, spoiler, canonically, she's actually super, super strong. A lot of people have issues with her not being drawn with muscles, but we're not even going to get into the muscle girl debate. Like, some fans need to just learn how to just let stuff be. But I am going to digress on that part. So, oh yeah, the cake Gozo brought was called Premium Castella. Never heard of it. Gonna look it up though. Anywho, Tanjiro is led to where the hot spring is. Apparently, the hot spring cures everything from gout to a broken heart and even constipation, which I don't think you want to cure constipation in the hot spring, because you don't want that type of thing to be flown out. Anyway, once he gets there, he meets Mitsuru again. He's like, excuse me. Yeah, she's busty. Which the bath scene they kept the bath scene in from the manga. Obviously, people are much more filled out in this anime, but very tasteful. Her hair covers any sensitive parts in the front and in the back. Very well done. while she's running to him, and he's like, your breast's about to spill out of your thing. He grabs her and covers her. You're a good boy, Tanjiro, but stop that. Stop it. Zenitsu would be furious with you right now. I digress. Which another funny moment is when Aoi was doing a voiceover talking about everybody doing stuff. Somehow Zenitsu can hear her talking about him. Again, the jokes in here are just great. But he meets up with her. She says some guy basically ruined the good vibes he got from the hot spring, which he could smell the hot spring from in the beginning of the village. The village looks kind of small to me, though. Maybe that's just how the 3D modeling looks, even though, there's a forge all around the different spots of this village, as told by one of the swordsmiths to Tanjiro. So maybe it just looks like that, right? But they're going to have dinner later. She, in addition to being super strong, eats a lot. She is our, I hate to say gluttonous character, but she's the gluttonous character. She's the character where you go, where is all that food going? But when Tanjiro gets to the bath, we found out the person that didn't talk to her was Genya Shinazagawa, Mohawk Man, who apparently should be related to the other Shinazagawa. I guess that's another wind user, Hashira. I think that might be the guy who threatened to kill Nezuko. That might be his brother. He's a bit of a jackass. But yeah, Tanjiro, wanting to talk to this dude and make friends, clothes off, jumps up, crow blocks the penis shot, and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you, that's your brother, blah blah blah. Dude dunks his head in, which, by the way, our first meeting, he pulled his own tooth out, but dunks his head under the water and tells him to get away from him. And Tom's like, oh man, I thought we could bond in our nudeness. How am I ever gonna make friends while little Nezuko's just swimming in this water? Quite adorable, Mitsuru's interactions with Nezuko, because she is coddling her, she tickles her. She comes from a family of 5, so she's used to everybody being close. So seeing those brothers not getting along because the older brother says he doesn't have a younger brother. Dude doesn't show up to eat either. The villagers say he does the hot spring, he comes and then he goes. But she's, petting Nezuko on the head, coddling her, cuddling her. They think, well, we're going to go bring him some food. Dude's not there. And it's time for Mitsuru's sword to be finished. She needs to put finishing touches, but she's going to leave. But one of the interesting things is she leaves some really good words of advice to Tanjiro, saying, hey, look, you fought an upper ranking, you won. That's like worth 10 years worth of training. So you're getting stronger and stronger. And of course, Nezuko's sad that she's leaving. Tanjiro's sad, but Nezuko's really sad. She goes to get more head pats. And the one thing that's crazy is that Tanjiro says, no, technically is Uzui, Mr. Uzui-san, giving me the victory. I'm going to get stronger and stronger, and I'll take down Muzan Kibutsuji. But he doesn't do like the typical shonen character with the fist, and that he speaks very manly, which makes both the Kikuchi, who's female, and Mitsuru both blush deeply. And Mitsuru kind of leans over, watching this girl swoon, and she whispers in his ear and goes, there's a secret weapon here that'll help you get stronger in the village. And her lips are so close to his ear, and she's so seductive. Like, her whole demeanor, her whole aura is loving and seductive and hungry. Always those three. And it's funny because after she leaves, Tanjiro lifts up the food and just has a bloody nose. He wakes up early. He gets food early. Cute little Nezuko comes out the box to rummage around and get food. I'm loving this dynamic. And Nezuko's going to come with him to find a secret weapon. And in the forest, they see this young swordsmith maker. I think at the back of his shirt says Hayakudo. I didn't write that down. But he sees the Miss Hashira. What is his name? Muchiro Tokito. So what is he doing there? Who knows? That's kind of where that's where the episode ends, and we get that cool ass outro that shows the two Hashiras, Mitsuru and Tokito, fighting alongside Tanjiro. Looks like they got to fight both of those upper demons. I guess the information that Gyoko found was where the village was. So now I'm seeing some interesting stuff. And yeah, I do like for a fact that, oh yeah, and the one dude, Genya, uses guns. So he's actually very accurate to what a samurai was doing after the introduction of guns in Japan. He was very, very close to what that is, it seems, with using a double-barreled, looks like a blunderbuss almost. So one of the things I'm going to praise this show about early, because you can already tell, yeah, we have essentially 4 main characters. It is Tanjiro, oh no, Zenitsu and Inosuke both fell off of here. We have essentially 4 main characters, 4 protagonists, 4 characters that we are technically rooting for. And it is fine, since he doesn't want to get on here. It is these 4. 3 boys and Nezuko. We're trying to get Nezuko back to normal. Zenitsu is here because he's a crybaby, but he's so amazing. Inosuke is ridiculously strong, and it's Big Brother Tanjiro, who is literally Big Brother to everyone, including these 2 dweebs. Now, funny thing about Inosuke that was snuck in there, because he should be resting, right? Inosuke is resistant to poison, but he's also resistant to medicine, which is why they have a harder time. Shinobu has a harder time administering things to him. We got a funny ass honey badger reference in here. They brought a book. They said this is an animal from a foreign country. In English, it says honey badger. It has a thick hide and is resistant to poison. Even if a lion bites it, it doesn't feel it. That's what Shinobu calls Inosuke. Honey badger don't care. Inosuke don't care. He don't care. He really don't. Our outro, our out part where they do the funny gags, as everybody was wondering, how long was Inosuke on the ceiling? And Aoi said he had to been up there an hour. He jumps up, he says, wrong. I was there since last night. And he was on the ceiling telling Tanjiro, calling him Tantapshiro, telling him he had to wake up. And I love how much Tanjiro handles him so well. He goes, "Aw, you're so great, Inosuke. You're always looking out for me," which makes the little brother syndrome kind of make him swoon, which is adorable. Love this. Love that we're back on the intro. Typically I don't give first episodes a ranking because it's just your first outing. But I did give Mashle a 5 out of 5. Demon Slayer, I don't care that I have a bias. This is a 5 out of 5. You addressed what happened last time. By the way, Uzui, immediately after the battle was done, he was up and walking, assisted by his 3 wives. His 3 lovely wives. And he's just cursing, just like one hand cursing, just like, stupid. I'm fine. I'm in pain, but this is dumb. Wow. Just wow. You see what the level the Hashiras are at. Which Muzan saying that, Gyutaro was held back by his sister, Daki. Apparently, if he would have just used the poison and didn't continue fighting, he could have won. I question that, bro, because Daki was basically keeping him alive. Them having that tether that you got to kill both of them at the same time in order to kill them. That was kind of a really good thing for him, because Uzui should have killed him twice, I think. And the boys, Inosuke and Zenitsu, they should have had her dead to rights. So the fact that they had to kill them both at the same time, that really made that harder. So you chill on that. But I'm pretty sure that those other upper rank demons are crazy strong. We already seen Akaza. So let's see what 4 and 5 does. Sorry, 5 and 4 does. That's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, this gets a 5 out of 5. We addressed what happened last season where no other show, and I said this earlier, I cut myself off. No, I haven't seen another show that does so well. Here's what's going on the villain side. There are 2 sides to this story. There are antagonists and our protagonists. We're always going to know what the protagonists are going to do. And yeah, both people on both sides are pretty much a-holes, but one side kills people. The other side is like, yeah, no. Even though when Tanjiro asked Mitsuri, why did she become a demon slayer? She wants to find a man. That's it. She wants to find someone to get married to. And she says, obviously, I wanted to be a Hashira. women naturally want someone to protect them, right? So I want someone stronger than me, so I become a Hashira, and then I can find someone there. And her reasoning was so funny that Tanjiro didn't get it, but his face was getting funnier and funnier as she explained. I love her brutal honesty. I love how this character is. The characters are so different from one another. There is not a lot of overlap. Even from good to bad, there's not a ton of overlap. Although, Genya, a lot of characters have badass attitudes. Like a lot of these macho men have bad attitudes, but when you get to their core, they're a lot better and a lot different. But yeah, great starting episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week. I don't know how many episodes of this Sword Maker Village arc is going to be. I probably should start reading this. I really should start reading this. The show's so good and it's sticking so close to the source material from what I'm being told and for what I'm seeing from panels to panels. So good. 5 out of 5. Let me know what you thought of the premiere of season 3 of Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Sword Village arc. Let me know what you think. Comment section down below. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you hit the notification bell, it'll make Nesco happy and it'll make me happy. Right. Again, thank you. Please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. And remember, everybody, just happy Easter to you, first of all. The most important thing to know is that there are people out there that care about you, that love you. You're never alone. If someone wants to talk to you today, then to mourn you and miss you tomorrow, reach out to someone. My social medias are right there at the bottom. Feel free to hit me up, follow me. I would definitely respond to you. So, once again, thank you guys. I cannot wait for next week's episode. Well, it's me, Shane, and I'm definitely going to